Lyndon B. Johnson was born August 27, 1908 in Stonewall, Texas, to farmers Rebecca Baines and Samuel Ely Johnson. He had 4 siblings, Sam, Josepha, Rebecca, and Lucia. Growing up, he worked on his parents' farm and attended one-room schoolhouses. Later in life, he became the president of his 6-member senior class. After high school, he initially didn't want to go to college, but ended up going anyway and earning his bachelor's degree in education. Many years before he became president, he was a teacher in Coachella, Texas, at a school for Mexican Americans. Many of these students were in poverty and came to school hungry. Lyndon B. Johnson took the time to make sure they had a good food program so they would at least have one meal a day, and he took money out of his own pocket to pay for things, such as sports equipment and school events such as spelling bees. When he came back to finish college studies, he became interested in politics after teaching didn't satisfy him in the long run. He then became a secretary to U.S. Congressman Richard Clayburgh of Corpus Christi. He was noted to be very passionate about his job and considered a model assistant. During this time, he met Claudia Alta Taylor, or otherwise known as Lady Bird. She was a graduate of the University of Texas from a wealthy family. He courted her with love letters, telegrams, and phone calls, which eventually ended up with them getting married in November of 1934. During her time as the First Lady, she advocated for the beautification of cities and highways, which meant protecting the natural and scenic beauty of these roads. Later in life, he became JFK's vice president and was sworn into office once the latter was assassinated. He inherited some of JFK's administration, although some left on their own accord, such as Secretary of Defense Robert McNamara. Some others include Attorney General Robert F. Kennedy, JFK's brother, disliked Lyndon and had a poor relationship with him. Secretary of State Dean Rusk, Secretary of the Interior Suda Udall, Secretary of Agriculture Orville L. Freeman, Secretary of Labor W. Willard Wirtz. Fun fact, when creating the Department of Housing, he appointed Robert C. Weaver as head of the department, making him the first black cabinet wielder. In LBJ's State of the Union, he addressed the ongoing war in Vietnam and increased the military presence in the area. This is to prevent a potential communist takeover of the region, but this ultimately did not work out. Most of his life in the White House was picking up where JFK left off. In 1965, he created Medicare to provide health coverage and financial security for the people, especially those who were older. And later in August, he gave African Americans the right to vote. He was one of the biggest supporters of NASA, resulting in the Center for Human Spaceflight to be renamed as the Lyndon B. Johnson Space Center in 1973. Although mostly unknown to the public, he tried various efforts to end the Vietnam War, but ended up with the war escalating. He also limited bombings to try to negotiate with Vietnam, which also failed, which ended up him dropping out of re-election. His biggest regret was not devoting his full time to seeking peace.
I believe that all men are created equal, yet many are denied equal treatment. We believe that all men have certain unalienable rights, yet many Americans do not enjoy those rights. We believe that all men are entitled to the blessings of liberty, yet millions are being deprived of those blessings, not because of their own failures, but because of the color of their skin. The reasons are deeply embedded in history and tradition and the nature of man.
He spent his remaining years at his beloved ranch, preparing memoirs and tending to his investments. He died January 22, 1973, one day before the Vietnam War ended.